Hi there, Karen here. Today I'm doing this photograph of me and my husband and our eldest daughter Jenny, and I'm using these old Scraptastic kits. There's a couple of old kits from April and February 2016 that I've kept together in a bag because I thought that they all went together really well, and I love all the papers. There's papers from Maggie Holmes Bloom. There's some Amy Tan. I think that floral that I absolutely adore is by Amy Tan. It's one of my favourite all-time papers. And there's also quite a few Scraptastic exclusive papers in the kits as well. So I just put them all together, and I've been just sorting through, picking out things that I like that I want to put together. So I'm cutting off these. This paper had vertical stripes with different words on. So I picked out the word dream and this XOXO, which go quite well with the backing paper, and they match each other in the colour scheme. So I thought that looked rather nice, and I'm just putting those down as vertical stripes, one on the to edge the floral paper, and one in the just set in from the left. And now I'm finding some backing papers for the photograph. This photograph was actually taken on the occasion when Jenny came home to tell us that she was going to have a baby. So this photograph was taken in the garden. As you can see, I'm pointing to her tummy, and that's because there's a little tiny baby in there. She's 8 weeks pregnant at this point, and we're very excited, and it was a really lovely occasion. We were very happy. So I thought I'd record the moment. And I'm just doing a little tag there that I'm going to tuck in behind the photograph rather than having it on display. And I'm just going to put some foam either side of the tag so that it lifts the photograph up and the tag will slip in more easily behind it. As you see there, that's I think a tag from the Bloom collection. I decided not to use the yellow after all. It was a bit too much. Although there is yellow in the backing paper, I really didn't think that the yellow worked so well. So that won't make it into the as one of the backing pages. So I'm looking for some others that I might use, and that's what I'm using the tag for. I'm going to put the picture of the scan that she gave us. That's actually a scan a little bit later. That's the 12-week scan, but I thought it'd be nice to have that as part of the layout, but not in open view. So I just wanted to pop that behind the photograph there. So I'm still working on my layers, and I've decided that I'm going to use this rather more subtle colour of the mint, which will go well with the two strips of the word stripes that or strips, whatever they are, vertical strips. So it picks out that minty green colour. So that's the colours I've decided to go for my backing papers. I'm just trying to stick that on there so you can see I've got the bit of foam with that space there for the tag to go behind. And all right, I'm just going to do a quick bit of outlining. Decided that these backing papers just needed to be outlined. So yeah, that one's done. Before I stick it down, I'll turn it the right way up. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same with the pink, and that goes behind there. So that's that's more or less the design of the page, with the photograph just set slightly to the right of the backing paper, so it kind of crosses over the join a little bit. So now I'm going to stick them down, stick them onto the. So I wasn't sure initially whether to put the vertical word dream right at the edge, but in the end, well, I'm just sticking that XOXO to the edge of the floral paper, and I'm going to put that on. Butt that up to the edge, and then the word dream is going to be set in slightly from the right rather than right up at the edge. I quite like that, the way that works. Not quite right, so have another go, get it straight. I'm not really very good at getting things straight. Quite a few of my layouts have got things that aren't very straight on them. Tried to use this die cut from Bloom, which worked really well with that minty green, but it's just too big. But I do like this little tag that just says we are on a special journey called life. I think there's a new journey about to start for all of us, and I thought that seemed quite appropriate to pop that in at the right there. So I'm just going to tuck that in on the right hand side. And then I think, what am I doing next? All right, I'm looking for some more embellishments from the Maggie Holmes embellishment ephemera pack. And I like this XOXO, but where it is, there's too much going on behind it. So I'm looking for something to back it. And I start off thinking I might put some vellum, but it's still too see-through, and you can still see all the busyness behind. So I decided I like this pink piece of pink paper to back it with. So that's what I'm going to do. Put that pink behind it and tuck it under there. And it's lined up so that the X is where the X would be in the vertical strip. So I'm just sticking that to the backing paper, because sometimes I forget and start sticking on ephemera before I suck it all down. So I thought I'd better do that now. So yeah, I'm sticking that to XOXO, and the X will, as you see in the on the vertical strip, there's an XOXO going down. So I try to get the X in the right position so it works in both directions still. And then I've done a bit of journaling on that little tag there, just saying that she'd come home to visit and gave us her wonderful news. And this little wood veneer, it's like a wood veneer label, I decided I'd stamp onto that the legend 8 weeks, because that's what she is. Now, the first time I stamped it, because around the 8, I've got this sort of border where I didn't wipe off the edge of the stamp, so I didn't really like that. I carried on stamping just to see how it came out, but in the end, I decided I didn't like it like that, so I had another go. And you see, there's another one waiting there. I didn't like the. It actually looks worse in real life. There's sort of this black border around the 8. So I thought I'd do it again, be a bit more careful, try not to get the marks around the edge. But this too ends up being not the greatest stamping I've ever done. As you can see, the S is almost falling off. But that's the one I ended up going with, because at least the stamping is clean, even though it's not particularly accurate. So I've put that there just to mark that this is she's at 8 weeks. And now I'm going to stick down the photograph, so I can start tucking everything in and sticking everything else down around it. Right, just tidying up a little and just sticking that in at the side there. Now, I'm afraid I inadvertently turned off my camera to go and find some more embellishments, and I forgot to turn it back on. Suddenly realised. So, as you can see, there's a load of blooms of flowers all around the photograph now. They're from the Bloom collection, I believe. And I've started sticking down the title, which is Joyous News, before I suddenly realised that the camera wasn't running. So I do apologise for that. So all you've missed is me sticking in a load of flowers, which is one of my favourite things to do. Some flower die cuts. I have a little dish of them, which I think makes a brief reappearance in a little while. And there's a little flare, a homemade flare on the top of the tag where the journaling is, that says "So Glad." And there's another little die cut underneath the XOXO which says "This explains everything," which seemed appropriate as well. And I'm just trimming off the ribbon at the top of that tag there, so it looks a little neater. And I've stuck on a couple of little hearts as well, which were in a pre punched hearts that I had in a pot. I'm trying out I had this little bag of wood veneer flowers, and I thought I'd try them out, but they're a bit dark. They're pre-painted, and I keep trying them on different things, but they never quite work. So I thought I'd give them a try, but I'm not really keen, so they won't be staying on the layout. But I just thought I'd see how they looked. And so now I've gone for some little resin flowers. I thought I'd try them instead, and I like those better. The colours are better. They're softer, more summery, the colours. So I end up with 3 little resin flowers on the page instead. The yellow one will be replaced, because somehow I'm not a big user of yellow things, and I thought that it just was a bit too bright. So that will get replaced with something softer. There's my little tub with all my die cut flowers that come in various ephemera, and I just pop them all in this tub. So I picked out another one. Not that one. Can be a different one. That's going to go. That's it. Just tucked in that space there by the wood veneer label at the bottom of the journaling tag with the little pink resin flower. So now I'm going to, and there's a little space there, so I've got a couple of hearts, die cut hearts. Then I've tucked in there, and now I'm going to stick on these little resin flowers. So that's the pink one. And there's a little peachy orangey one at the top of the that one there, the one I'm just sticking on now. And pop that top right hand corner. And then I've changed the yellow one for it's a very, very pale lilac-y one. I just thought it was fitted in a bit better there. And now I'm doing a journaling strip. I wanted to add, it says Joyous News, and I wanted to add a sort of a subtitle. So I've done it on my computer, and I've stuck it onto this label so that it stands out. And it just says, we're going to be grandparents, which we were very excited about. So I thought I'd put that in there. It's a bit of a subtitle, although it's not right next to the title. But it seemed to be just something that seemed a nice thing to put on to this layout. How excited we are about becoming grandparents. So that's going to go under that pink label there. And then I've dived into my little word stickers again, and that one says there is much to celebrate. And I think that speaks for itself, really. So that's it. That's all done. I will add the date as well afterwards, which should appear in the photograph. So thank you for joining me. Join me again soon. Bye for now.